Hey everybody, welcome back to Breakfast with Bob Challenge Roth Edition. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, SFuels, Right Fuel, Right Time, Master Spas, deboer wetsuits, Premium Plus Sports, and of course our Challenge Athletes Foundation. Our next guest, one of the favorites here. She was third in Kona and third here in Roth last year. Philipp joins us. Laura, how are you? And we got your microphone here.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's great to be back here in Roth, the biggest race in Germany or maybe in the world.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm feeling good. Looking forward to race here on Sunday.
I like that. And you have a special treat?
I have like this motto, faster with cake.
Yes.
So this time I partnered up with my partner AG1 and we created a special healthy cake. And I thought I would bring one
for me
cupcake to you. Oh, three.
Three of them. So
three
one
them,
for me
small,
and two for John. I like that.
Yeah.
Those are thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Healthy cupcakes. That's the ultimate oxymoron.
And they make you faster, so
they make
it's
you
a
faster.
win-win. They will taste nice and make you faster.
Will you have these on the bike tomorrow or Sunday?
On Sunday? Yeah, well, I have to see how many I can fit into my bento box, but yeah, for sure. That's my secret.
I love that. So, going into this race, you're thinking, okay, it's myself. There's Daniela Rifa's not coming back, and Annie has been sick, so she's not racing. And about a week ago, you find out Annie's racing. But knowing what type of athlete you are, it's sort of like, good. I want to race the best here on the course. If I'm going to win this race, I want it to be a battle.
Yes, I think you summed up that nicely. Of course, it's not in my hands who will show up and who is going to race here. So obviously last year was like super stacked. It was close to like a world championship field.
It really was.
So, but that hasn't been like the average over the years. So
right.
I think last year really stood out, and it was great to come away with a podium. But it was also my first time in Roth, and I was a bit overwhelmed about everything. Like I didn't expect that there will be like so many people, so much attention. So I do think this race deserves that you actually show your best performance.
Right.
And I was feeling like I was lacking a little bit of energy. So on race day,
right.
So yeah, try to get that better done this time, and I'm on a good way. But yeah, as you mentioned, like Anne was added to the start list last minute, and to be honest, I found out during a swim session. Philipp was on pool deck and he told me like, you know what, Anne is racing, and I was like, oh wow, okay, that's a surprise. And then after he told me, I had one of my best swim sets. So you see, like, I think that's how we athletes are. Like, it adds motivation, and just like you said, if I will have like a really good day on Sunday, and if I can beat Anne here on this course, this win would mean so much more.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that was interesting when I was talking to Annie, last year we had Daniela have one of those epic type of races where she took 10 minutes off the course record, 8:08, a time that it was just unbelievable. I think she put over 15 minutes on Annie on the bike, and Annie said there was a point where she was getting splits, and she said, tell me to split to second. And the first is already gone.
Yeah.
Because you guys are all so close. You guys race each other all the time. You can be friendly off the course, but you also want to kick each other's butt on the course. When someone like that, when Danielle's having a race like that, all you can do is tip your hat and say, great job. There's nothing you can do about it.
No, that's exactly how it is. It was definitely a special experience to be in a race and to be so far back.
Yes.
Yeah, I also remember seeing those split boards and I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I think it's good that Daniela showed the world what a female athlete is possible to achieve. I have no idea if we will ever come close to that. I think last year we definitely had like a second race going on behind.
Yes.
So I think things will look a bit different this year. I do expect it to be a very close race, a fast race hopefully, depending on the weather conditions, because fast is fun. And yeah, I'm excited.
So this year, speaking of classic events, you got to do Alcatraz and get on the podium there and jump off the boat, freezing water, right? All the elements that make Alcatraz great, and you get on the podium there too when you're sort of gearing up for this race. Balancing that shorter distance, T100, 70.3, and this. How hard is that?
I think it's great. You know, you need to be fast also
Yes.
for the long distance. I think, you know, we just talked about Daniela's time, and this is fast. So it just shows, you know, you have to be good at both distances. And I think from the trainer's perspective, it's you can train for both.
Right.
Of course, I think if you want to win the T100 series, I think you probably have to kind of focus on the shorter, fast stuff.
Right.
But I just, you know, went there without any expectations. I just really wanted to have this experience, you know,
Right.
jumping off the boat, experience San Francisco. And yeah, the race was great. It was a challenging race. That's something I really like. It kind of reminded me of an Xterra race, something I used to do in the past as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was definitely really cool to grab a podium spot there. But yeah, I think it was a great, also from the mental perspective, a great preparation for Roth. You know, I need to be fast on Sunday in order to have
Yes,
a good
you do.
race. So, of course, the actual pace will probably be a bit slower, I guess. But still, you need to do those fast training sessions also in order to be a fast long distance athlete.
So, this, like you said, last year was your first time here. What did you learn from this? Because it's a little sensory overload. Because there's people everywhere, not just on race day, before the race. Every time you take a step, sign an autograph, take a photo. Kona's one thing. I think this is Kona times 20 in terms of, especially as a German athlete, that the demands on you. But part of the positive of being one of the best is that there are those demands. If people weren't asking for media, if people weren't asking for that, it would mean that you weren't one of the best. So do you look at it that way? It's like, hey, this is why I have to plan on more media. I have to plan it into my schedule because as one of the best, I'm going to have those demands.
Absolutely, and I think last year really showed me what brilliant stage this is for us athletes.
Yes.
You know, and I really question myself, like, why didn't I come here before? Like, it's like the biggest event, the biggest stage, and it's kind of in front of my doorstep, and it's happening in Germany. I can drive here with my car. You know, it's like all kind of things that make racing also a bit easier. And yeah, I was a bit overwhelmed, as I said, and you summed it up well. You know, there's so many things going on, and you nearly feel like you don't have time to reflect on things and digest them, you know. So I had hard time falling asleep because I was just like so overwhelmed and like in a positive way, you know. I was like excited.
It's all positive.
And exactly.
Yeah, people are celebrating you.
Yeah.
Right? They're celebrating you and your accomplishments, but at the same time, okay, now I got to focus on it. I've been racing. I got Daniela Reif. I've got Annie Hawk. I've got to race the best people in the world tomorrow. And
exactly. I mean, like here, the whole community is excited, and this is not something that we experience all over the world, right? Everywhere where you go, like people are excited to meet you. They're super friendly, and but it's just like so exciting that you really need to also find a way to refocus and relax before the race. But honestly, I'm really looking forward on Monday. I think this is also very special about this event that you have like the helper, like for the volunteers parties.
Yes.
Thank you.
6,500 volunteers are here.
That's so crazy, and you know, I think we are also thankful for the support, and it's so great that we have this party to give back and to celebrate. And for us athletes, I think it's so much easier to then like spend all the time and the energy with the people because we have done our race and the pressure is gone, and so that's what I'm really looking forward to, except of the race, of course.
So, and speaking of the race, if you win this you're a German athlete winning the most important race, not just in Germany, but this race and Ironman World Championship, two most important races in the world. And you're sort of on the doorstep for winning that, and that's not going to happen this year because you'll be in France. But to win this race, what would it mean to you?
Well, this would be absolutely huge because it would mean that I was able to beat Anne. And
that hasn't happened yet.
No, that hasn't happened yet. I think we raced 4 times on the long distance so far.
Yes.
And she was always, I think, catching me on the run.
Right.
And but you know what? It has always been super hot conditions. The races we raced. It was either like Hawaii or Roth.
Yes, Roth last couple
so
years were very hot. Yeah.
This Sunday, I think the temperatures will look a bit different.
Uh-huh.
I think this is something that will actually play into my cards. Not that I don't like the heat, but I think Anne is just really strong in the heat. So, I believe I have a chance.
No question.
I also prepared very well. And, before I knew that Anne was racing, I was really visualizing me winning the race in the training sessions I did. And so I think I've spent a lot of time, imagining how it would be. So I think that is still inside of my mind. And the most important thing is that you believe that you can do it.
Yes.
And I certainly do. I know it won't be anything but easy, but I'm ready to take on this excellent chance to race her.
And you've been training up at altitude. And is that part of the preparation for Nice as well?
Absolutely, but high altitude training is a big part of my training since many years.
Okay.
So Philipp, my coach, tries to set certain times over the year, so he makes sure I do spend a lot of time at high altitude to kind of like trying to keep the blood volume high,
Yes.
over the year. But of course, for Nice, this is a great place to prepare this race. I will also, before Nice, go back to high altitude to prepare. You have like all the riding in the Alps, and that really prepares you for a course like Nice. And I think we should not forget that most of the bike course in Nice is actually pretty high. It's not like high altitude, but it is altitude. So
Yes.
I think it's not the worst way to prepare for Nice
And
as
also
well.
the bike handling aspect, which in a lot of races like a Kona is not that important, but in Nice it will be.
That's true.
The downhill aspects and the sort of the raw edges and the road furniture. There's so much stuff that goes on.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is not like the switchbacks or something, but that you have so many speed bumps and cobbles and just stuff on the road, that
It's road furniture.
Road furniture. So you need to be like 100% concentrated.
I love it.
Yeah.
Laura, first of all, thank you for my cupcakes. I'm going to be devouring those. On race day, just have the best race ever. I love the way you race. I love the way you attack this. I love the way you look at this as, hey, this is a positive. You now have given me motivation to knock off somebody who I haven't knocked off before, and not just knock her off, but knock her off in the most important race in the world.
Thank you, Bob. And you know what? These earrings actually escaped from Alcatraz. I wore them, and I weren't sure if they will still be in my ears after the race. This is like my lucky charm, and hopefully they will bring me luck on Sunday.
They look fast.
Yes.
I love it. Laura Philipp has been our guest. Again, Breakfast with Bob from Challenge Roth. Hold on. We will be right back.